Hello people, welcome back to Dutch Modeling. And today we're going to do something completely different. I haven't done this before. It's going to be a paint test. And this is the first time we're going to do a paint test. So we're going to test the Mission Models paints. Very generously provided by John from Mission Models in cooperation with Sylvain of Domino.be, a very big Belgium retailer of model kits and accessories as paints, where these paints are always also available as being one of the European distributors. So first of all, big thank you to both of them. And secondly, I'm gonna try this on I'm using Hobby Pencil Cam 38D, which is a bit of a paper pencil. I built this for a review from Amusing Hobby, and I thought let's try and test the paints on this one. We're going to use the entire range at my disposal, so that we'll be starting with the Emission Models primer, and which has definitely stiff competition in the Badger Stylus I normally use, be it in the Badger Stylus own bottles, be it in the MIG Ammo one-shot bottles, or be it in the UMP primers, which is all Stylus. So this is going up against that one because the Stylus at the moment is my go-to primer, and I'm curious what to do with how this comes out. I'm gonna use the other Mission Models paints. It's gonna be the Olive Groen, the Donkergelb, and the Rood Brown, and I'm gonna try and mimic this camel pattern because I do not really like hard edges, and this is all faded, and all the other ones are pretty much hard lines. So it's gonna be this one, and I'm gonna start with a just a simple black primer layer, and this is where we start having our first difference with the normal primers, as I'm always taught to use primers, so to speak. And this is in their description, because if you have Mission Models, I got this nice little overview of all their paints. This is when you get epileptic, this is nice to look at. And there's a little bit of John Temkin, the president of Mission Models. Thank you. And here's a little bit of an explanation how to use the paints. You see here's the mix ratio. If you want a matte finish, you do 2 drops of paint, 3 to 2 drops of thinner, and at 15 to 20 psi. If you want a satin finish, and this is their thinner, got them in 2 different sizes. I already had this one for my own, but I got this one from John. Again, thanks John. If you want a satin finish, you do the same, but then you add 2 to 3 drops of poly, which is this. And I think I will be doing a long time with these because I do not want satin paints. I want flat paints. And then here's a little explanation of how to do it. The paints, although our paints can be sprayed, I'm gonna leave you to read it, so just pause, because I'm not that good in reading to people. But the interesting thing is here, and here it comes on, the Mission Model primer is a 2-part system that must be activated using the Mission Model paint thinner only. Because the Mission Model primer is thicker than our paint, it must be reduced with our thinner. Once thinned, the primer is activated and ready to use. There are no tricks, follow the formula, adjusting depending on need and spray. Note, do not, capital letters, add the polyurethane mix extra to the primer. The primer can only be mixed with their own thinner, or so they say, to a proper activation, no substitutions. You will find a durable and level finish that requires no sanding unless you have certain requirements. The primer will not hide the finest of details and dries to the touch in 15 to 20 minutes. The recommendation of the ratio is 3 to 4 drops of thinner to 10 drops of primer. Let's start with that then. I'm just going to go a little bit dusting of the model because it has been standing out for a while. Just all the little dirty's getting off there. No, Seb, you blew on your model. You're not supposed to blow on your model. I know, I still do it. So, shake it well. And this will be a multi-step video, of course. I'm going to prime this. And then I'm going to pause the video, let it dry and everything. And then come back when I'm done, ready for doing the paint itself. So this is going to be another kind of first for me. So. That's cleaned out. Open the lid because they're all sealed. Ow. Okay, now I got it in my face. I literally do have it in my face. That's not so smart. And I think I even got it in my eye. So, be careful when you pop in the lids. Because it's not a fun thing to do. And it nearly missed my eye. I actually got it in my eye. Oh well. Let's hope it's not toxic. So clean it off again. A little bit more shaking. And it says 10 drops of primer, 3 to 4 drops of thinner. So you actually need to thin it more than you thin the paint. It's kind of strange. But hey, just following the guidelines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 30 drops would constitute 12, about 10 drops of thinner. I don't know if you need to shake this. That's in German. Okay. Doesn't say anything here, but here says do not contact with skin, eyes or clothing. And this is actually pretty toxic, I think. Do not let it go into the environment. If you get it in your eyes, rinse 15 minutes with water and go see a doctor. When you're working with this, do not eat, do not drink or smoke. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous stuff. So I said 10 drops, didn't I? Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I'm going to turn on my compressor, so it might get loud, I'm not sure. I got it down there, so it shouldn't be that loud. Stir it a little bit. Glove. More mixing. Black flowing a bit. I'm using the Harder Steinbeck Evolution with a 0.4 needle. It's quite a big needle because I'm used to using a stylus, of course. And let's see what happens. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Where is that? little button. I will be focusing on the right shot in a minute. Again, so there it is. Zoomed in a bit. Camera is wandering. There it is. So let's see. Doing very thin layers because I have no clue how this stuff reacts. You see, the spray is very thin. Going a little bit thicker immediately on the bottom because that can handle a little bit more, because you won't see it that well, of course, once it is on its wheels, on its tracks. And I'm nowhere close to being a master painter or something like that. I actually don't like painting that much. It's one of the least appealing aspects of the hobby to me, so I'm definitely not good at this. It's a shot, yeah. It really takes the photo edge pretty well. Let's see. That's also one of the reasons I took this model, because I might have got shot, sorry. Because it has a pretty visible part of photo edge, which the primer and the paints need to hide, of course. no real, there's a little bit of a needle tip drying, but that's it. Sorry, I keep going out of screen. Note myself now. I think a little bit left. I'm gonna see just a little pop. Gonna see down here next to the no-tag light. Sorry, there. Now it's not no-tag light. I'm gonna see now. I got a little bit in the color cup left. How it takes flooding. Now just go. As you can see, that's very wet. So that spot, I'm gonna leave it like that. Normally you wouldn't do it like that, but just gonna see how it takes the flooding. The abuse of not being used well. It's quite hard being zoomed in and keeping into shot. Sorry for that. I actually can see it's drying already, and I rather do like the finish. And the color cup is empty. So yeah, basically got everything covered quite well. I'm gonna zoom out again because I really do not do zoomed in well apparently. So I'm gonna jiggle a little bit with the camera. Oh, that's the wrong button. Where's my zoom? No, I need to go that way. That's better. So, as you can see, it's pretty shiny at the moment, or that might even stain. I don't know where else it's not problem. The finish is it's very nice. I'm impressed so far. Took the PE very well, and then there's the flooded area there, and as you can see, it's leveling pretty nicely. So I'm gonna leave this to dry for, what is it, 20 minutes as they said. Gonna clean out this one, and as you can see here, Emission model's thinner, but it also says there, airbrush cleaner. So I'm gonna actually use this to clean that out. There it is. They said I'm just only gonna use their product. Drops in there, and according to the description under, it's pretty toxic. So Oh, but Seb, you should wear a mask. Oh, Seb, where is your ventilation? And Seb, yes, I know. But if I would wear a mask and have my suction on and everything, you wouldn't be able to hear me. And this video would be kind of pointless, wouldn't it? And I figured I won't die from one test. And if I do, well, the wife gets the house for free. Everybody's happy. I know there's some people on the interwebs that wouldn't mind me see me dying either, so yeah. It's a win-win, really. So yeah, I'm gonna go cleaning and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. So, the primer had ample time to dry. I'm guessing half an hour to 45 minutes now. And I'm pretty impressed. It's a bit satiny, but it dries very nice. I didn't scratch it anywhere to test it, but I will do that later when all the paint is in, just to make it fair. I will scratch the bottom side, not the top or something like that. I am definitely impressed by how it corrected itself on the flooded area. The part I flooded on purpose there. You can see still these striations there, but other than that, it didn't do anything. So yeah, yay. That's cool. It took everywhere else. Well, let's do it like. You can hear me scratch. And it's not coming off. So W. So next is with the base layer of paint, and I'm going to do the yellow paint first because that's easiest to cover by the darker paints. And that's already where, using the Amusing Hobby Ammo by Mick color scheme, they really make a big mistake. They make a big mistake. They want you to use Dunkelgelb Mick War. 10 seconds of research, aka Google this vehicle, reveals that if it ever would have entered battle or production for that, it would be at the end of 45. Not in 42. So I'm going for a late Dunkelgelb instead of the middle war, because that would be the color it actually would have gotten. So I've been shaking this for a while now. And then we're going back to this one. Because what does it say about the paint? Throw paints can be paired straight out of the bottle. We've recommended thinning with Emission Models paint thinner for the absolute best results. In addition, a couple of drops of polyurethane extract thin to your paint improve the durability, leveling and sanding qualities. Recommendation ratio 2 to 3 drops paint of thinner to 10 drops paint. And as is, you can see it here again. But then it also says if you use the polyurethane, it will be a satin finish, and I don't want a satin finish. So for this, I'm just gonna do the paint to thinner. I might later on do the turret backing after this, do the turret and black primer, and then spray the paint with the polyurethane thinner. But I will see about that. First, we're gonna do this one. This paintbrush I'm using now is Border Black Flame 0.3. It's pretty obvious, 0.3 needle. The company's Border. This is Tools. And you probably know by now it's the Border Models Pencil 4. It's one of the same company. So let's see, here we go again. drops of paint. So take 6 to 9 drops of thinner. So we're going to do 8 drops of thinner. A little bit of stirring. I used to have one of those small metal spatulas, but no clue where I left it. Have to do it with that one. And a little bit of okay. There was a little bit left. It's the compressor again. Sorry if it's very loud, but kind of need it. So. At the high end of the preferred PSI, I got it at 20 PSI with a 0.3 needle again, other than the 0.4 I had for the primer because I didn't know how thick it was. But so let's see. And this is 30 drops of paint to 8 drops of thinner. Do a little bit of a dusting layer first. Get some adhesion. Before I don't throw my paint overall again. The lid on. Hello there, Mr. Fly. And I know this kit doesn't have a lot of tools, and I already know that some people are jumping up and down their seats because I have the tools still on the model. I always paint them on the model and then detail paint them afterwards, just for some eye catchiness. see me now quite a lot of stopping and starting again. That's just because I want to see how the needle tip drying does, if at all. And so far I don't have any splatters, and that's good. I'm going to keep it shut as much as possible, but I kind of have to keep my eye on what I'm doing instead of looking up all the time. I'm actually out of paint, as you can see, so I'm gonna mix up some more. I'm gonna spray it, finish it spraying it off camera with the same ratios I did before, 30 drops to 8 drops of thinner, and I'll be back once I've done it completely. Oh, and one more thing, I don't know if you can see it, the needle, it's still clean, and I haven't cleaned it in a while, so there's no needle drying with this, and that's a very big plus. So, be back in a bit. So I'm nearly done with the base cap coat. It's a little bit spotty, but it's more due to my very brilliantly qualities of a painter than the paint itself. I got a little bit left in the paint cup, so I'm gonna do is take the same area and flood the paint as well to see how the paint reacts if you overdo one spot. Just as you can see, hopefully, camera isn't whiting out too much. There's a nice quality paint, nice thick layer of paint. And, well, now I got the rest of the paint here as well. Do some spots I think I missed. Nooks and crannies, hard to come by. Oh. Yeah, I missed something down here, I see. I'm just emptying the color cup at the moment. And that's it. So, again, oh shit, that's not supposed to happen. Keep it in screen, there. Let's see what they say about this. Oh, here it says we recommend spraying between 10 and 15 psi. Here it says between 15 and 20 psi. So, as you can see there, second row. Where is it there? Between 10 and 15 psi. But here it says between 15 and 20 psi. So I had on 20 psi. I'm guessing it's a bit on the high side then. It's recommended to spray it in thin coats. The thinner the coat, the better results. So I did a little bit thicker here in places, just to overall see how it goes. Again, as you can see there, I really flooded the area. See how the paint goes there. It doesn't say anything about the drying time, to be honest. Nothing about the drying time, so let's give it half an hour to 45 minutes. One thing I still want to do, one thing I did want to tell you though, is the size of the paint bottles. Because these are the standard paint bottles for Mission models. And yeah, you can, I need you in a minute, so you can and go for a, that's quite a difference. These are 1 fluid ounce or 30 mils, and these are 17 mils, so this is almost double. You can see it on the bottom as well. So you don't need to go out to the stores as often. And this is the standard eyedropper bottle you got from, I got this is from Mick, but you also got them from Vallejo Marlaire, that's an old one. Here's a newer one, Vallejo Marlaire, I got those as well, again, same difference. And then for the airplane or the Russian, you got the A-cans, well, yeah, definitely smaller, this is only 15. So, you definitely got a lot of paints per bottle, and it's always a nice thing. So, again, I'm gonna clean up my brush, and I'll be back later. So, it's been about an hour and a half. This has been drying now. And there were a couple of spots I was kind of worried, because it looked like the paint was retreating from those areas for some reason. Not being clean or whatever. And there was one spot over here where I thought the plastic was actually coming back. And, well, you can see nothing. So, worried about nothing. The paint leveled almost perfectly. And where I flooded it again, let's see if I can get the shade in there a little bit. Nothing. So it leveled itself brilliantly. I got dirty hands because I'm also redecorating the house. So it's pretty smooth. The details are all still perfectly there. Yeah, it's. It didn't even clog the photo edge, and that's very fine mesh. So it really went in there. That's very nice. Yeah, that's cool. So I'm gonna do now the green, and I didn't want to bore you with it. Color cup is filled, paint is mixed. It's still my black flame from border with the 0.3 needle nozzles in there. I did turn on my compressor now. Get the PSI down to 15 instead of the 20 I was using. So either I'm on the high end of the first recommendation or on the low end of the second recommendation. I'm at least within range. Like I said, it says here. Let me see, between 10 and 15 psi, and it says here between 15 and 20 psi, so it's one or the other. So I'm going with trying to go with 15 this time. And let's see, clean up. Oh, 1 second, I'll be back. Yeah, I'm back. That was the phone. Sorry for that. This needs a little bit more mixing. By the looks of it. I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a mix. And a little bit of a backflow. Well, seal of my air compressor isn't really that airtight anymore, so that's why it's going off every second. Paint flow. Yes, we do have paint flow. Oh, and then just gonna wing it a bit, I guess. Don't have to be precise, of course, because it actually never existed, so that's Is it in screw? It's kind of sharp. Move a little bit over there. You can see how thin you can spray it. And it's a very nice color, that also. And first I sprayed at 20 without problem. Now I'm spraying at 15, it's still no problem. So that's a good point as well, in my eyes at least. So. You can get up really close with the paintbrush, the airbrush. Almost touch the model if you want. And you can if I can easily zoom in a bit again. Oh, that's the wrong way. Of course it's the wrong way. And hopefully I'm going to not remove the kit, so almost have no paint coming out at whatsoever, so you can see how fine the mist is. Bigger blobs also no problem. Oop, that's more my control of the airbrush than the paint. I'm not saying a lot because I'm kind of concentrating at the moment, sorry, but you can see the paint, again there's no needle tip drying whatsoever, and I'm quitting spraying quite regularly. So normally you would expect some needle tips. Issues. Still in? No, yeah, it is. Alright, more scenery. And then want anything else, but I'm guessing you kind of get the gist of it. You can do it very light, so the paint will accept that without any problems. So you can get in very, very closely to make a very fine line without any problems. Doesn't spider at all, so that's good. And with camo, of course, It's very much, you know, make your own mind of what you want to do. Unlike the NATO camos from nowadays, most were applied on the field, at least in the end of the war, and they had no real template for them. So you can do whatever you want, basically. Just don't really throw your model around. Not very nice. And like this got large surfaces green, I like the fine camo better, so I'm gonna do it like this because I can. Just add some small details here and there, and remember there's still a green go on here, or sorry guys, a red brown to go on here, so don't overdo the green. Oh, I forgot the lower hole. Well, I'm going here a little bit more. Yeah, and that's, you know, have to know when it's enough, otherwise you go overboard and there's no more room for the red, because this is still to come later on. Again, another 15 minutes, I'm going to clean it out and I will see you then. See you soon. So, for the last part of the test, I'm going to use red brown, something like that. And I thinned it already, as you can see here, or not. It's kind of a bit out of frame. But, well, the cat's gonna die anyway, so I am gonna add this. This is a test to see how the paints react and everything, and how they spray. So it's only fair for me to try it with the extra addition as well. See if there actually is a difference in sheen. That's my compressor. In sheen when it's completely dried. I cannot say, I know they have clears as well, but I don't have those, so I can't test those. I had the primer tested, as you can see. It was very scratch resistant, only after half an hour or something like that, so that's good. The paints go on brilliantly. You've seen how they self-level, even if you flood something on purpose. And now I'm gonna see if the polyurethane additive really matters a lot. So, oh, that's thick. Oh. With a black backflow. cap on, or else I don't know what happens. We got paint, you can see. So I'm still zoomed in, should be, so let's see what happens with the polyurethane in there. I still got at 15 psi. I hope I'm still in shot. Yes, I am. A little bit thicker, so it has trouble coming out now. I'm gonna turn up the PSI back to 20. That's better. Seems to have a little bit more trouble getting out of the airbrush with the 0.3 needle. I can of course not yet say if it's the polyurethane, but definitely seems that way. Because it was pretty thick. I don't know if I shook it long enough, because you have to shake it, it had one of those steel balls in there. Or that it just, that is what it does to the paint. Which I don't know, because I don't have that much experience with it yet. still in shot? I believe so. So this will be. Definitely struggling a bit more. I think there's a little bit of dirt in there as well. That could be just my problem for not cleaning it well. So I'm not yet gonna give that one to the polyurethane. Still very controllable, so that's not a problem. You can see the fine lines I can make with it, so. Well, I hope you can see it. No, you can't see because I've got it all out. There it is. Yeah, the old compressor is struggling, that's for sure. I did this on the other side as well, just till one half with this one, and see what happens, how much of a difference in the finish there is between the green, which has only the thinner, or the red brown, which also has polyurethane in it. So sorry for going out of shot every time. It's definitely a very controllable paint, that's for sure. So I very much like the colors, all three I use so far. I do like the way the primer controlled itself, scratch test. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of flooding test on this one here, near the wheel, with the polyurethane. Nice and thick. You can see, hopefully, nice thick flooding there. See how that levels itself, and so. But all in all, I'm pretty impressed by this paint. I definitely am. Gonna go back into the shot. Sorry guys. It's harder than it seems. And this is basically it. I'm gonna do a little bit of these. I got quite a bit left. These were only 20 drops of paint, so I'm just gonna do the cheap way. And now let's zoom out again, because I'm not spraying anymore. Don't drop the camera now. Oh, that's the other way around. This is zoomed out again. Oh, come on. Where are you supposed to be? Yeah, that's better. So, lid off. Back in the box. Because we're not gonna waste any paint, of course. And then all it really, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna show you the difference between with or without polyurethane, if there is a difference at all. But with the cleanup, they say rinse it with the ball coat with water, then follow up with the Mission Model thinner. Well, water. Where's my cleanup pit? Hi. Somebody stole my brush. That's quite funny because there's nobody else here. Who? Oh, I'm gonna take a different brush. I got a special brush to clean out my airbrushes, but I have no clue where. Oh, it went on the floor! So, clean it out with water. Do a little bit of a flow through. And I just throw the rest in there. A little bit of paper. Clean it out, clean the nozzle. And actually, and this was only water. Put the filter back on if I'm gonna spray in there. I just put in water. This is how the color cup looks, and it's just with water. So you don't really need their own thinner. And that's one thing, and I'm not saying it won't work. I think it's just misuse of your money, because these things of course are not cheap. And if they do their work, they shouldn't be that cheap, of course. They should make a little bit of money so they can exist. But I have my own mixture. Yeah, you probably know the labels, but it's not what's in there. What I do for a cleaner is 50% IPA, isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%, 30% screen wash, 20% water, and then two or three drops of glycerol. That's all. And I got enough in a bottle of alcohol of a liter. I can fill this one 8 times. But yeah, 8 times I think it is. And that thing cost me just 8 euros. So I got 8? No. Yeah, 8. No, 16. 16 of these for 8 euros. So, because a bottle of screen wash costs absolutely nothing. A bottle of glycerol costs about almost nothing and lasts a lifetime. Because you only need 2 drops. So, yeah. It will work. I tried it, it will work. Though it's not necessary. So I'm gonna put this away, I'm gonna have my dinner, and I will be back and show you the result of when everything's dried, and we're gonna look at the flooded wheel. So back in a minute. So back to a clean bench again, and basically finished the test of the Mission Model paints. I'm just gonna put these here for you to see which I used. This is the primer. And this one. So the products I used so far, there are some more, I have to say that too honestly, and I haven't tried those yet because I have no clue how to use them yet. And let me look them up. Let's paint. Of course I can't find them now, you always see. Got them somewhere. Should have done this for this one. It's a rust of some sorts. Transparent dust. So these are weathering parts. And then you got the metallics. So this is, and you can see, take this out, you got the coat there, MMP or Mission Model Paints 19, donkergoud. Then you got MMS, and I'm guessing the S stands for surface because it's the primer. And then you got MMM, which I'm guessing stands for metallics because this is a metallic. And then you got MMW, which I'm guessing just stands for Mission Models Weathering. So I will have a go on, that's the only metallic I got so far, so but I'm gonna have a go on spraying this and seeing how to use these, because I really have no clue yet. I haven't tested them, they're still, you can see, still closed. So I have to go and read somewhere how to use these, because this is, like I said, transparent dust and this is dark rust. So don't really know at the moment, but that on the side, we used these today and I'm actually pretty much impressed. Very much impressed, especially about the primer, because I was used to the Badger Stylus, of course, which is almost indestructible. Well, you see me do the scratch test underneath, and it was only after 20 minutes or half an hour of drying time, and I couldn't scratch it, so that's good. It has brilliant self-leveling qualities, and you can see here with the red that where I flooded not over half an hour ago, and it's darker than the rest, and that's it. It leveled itself perfectly. And with the red as well, the red brown, I use the polyurethane, and in the instructions over here it says it will have a matte finish if you use the poly, but to be quite honest, I don't really see a difference. I don't know, could be just me, but no, I need you on that wheel. There it is. I mean, the green doesn't have the poly, the red has. That's poly green. And well, that overspray is due to my airbrush. But I mean, and again on the very fine photo etch part, it didn't clog the holes. So that's nice. Yeah, I'm very impressed by the paint itself. It sprays very easily. You saw on the video, hopefully, that I wasn't out of scope too much, out of shot, how close you can get without it going spiderwebbing on you if you fin it properly. And it just behaved. It did what it's supposed to do. It did it well. I forgot to spray something there. It's just my fault, so nobody can see it like this. It was very controllable. The colors are very nice. I think the colors are very nice. I don't know how much the camera picks it up, but I think you would agree. And there will be some detail painting, of course, in this one, but this was basically a test for the Mission Models paints. And again, I really want to thank John from Mission Models himself and Sylvain from Domino's for making this possible. And we will see how it continues. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.